And my next book was even more of a problem because I discovered Freud. I discovered Norman Brown's version of Freud. So if I'd started with empiricism, I'd gone through Hegel, a narrative about this spirit going from one age to another, a lot of spirit. In Freud, I discovered matter, particularly his excremental vision, which is based upon Gulliver's Travels, Jonathan Swift, who went mad. Seemingly, so critics said, he went mad because women shit. So, no wonder I have lost my wits. Celia shits. This idea, that the goddess, this feminine spirit actually defecates, was just too much for Swift. He lost his wits. So what Brown says is that actually Swift he might have been a very unstable individual, but what he had discovered was that Western culture was all about sublimation. So from the body is sublimated. So culture, the way up, is the way down. That was Norman Brown's version of Freud. My book, Visions in Exile, merely shifted that over to Spanish literature, to Quevedo, Villarroel and people like that. They were also talking about the excremental vision. But notice, again, there is a problem. So I'd gone from empiricist, Hegelian to Freudian. Well, there's a problem there because the dialectic of civilization that you get in Brown is not the dialectic of history. The subtitle of Brown's work is El sentido psicoanalítico de la historia, the psychoanalytical meaning of history. There is no history in Brown. He talks a lot about the phylogenesis of man, the ontogenesis of man, but there is no radical historicity. That came with Juan Carlos, as far as I'm concerned. And for me, why did I hit upon Juan Carlos? Well, as I've said, I was born into a working class family, but my family in the 1960s, they were relatively mobile. So they were a working class family that were becoming petit bourgeois, let's say. So I gradually became distant from not my general family, which remained working class, but my immediate family became petit bourgeois. Then at university, it was all, Calderón de la Barca, it was all that literature stuff, you see, that was, again, I was drifting away. I viewed the 68 rebellion from a distance. Problem was, you see, the Marxists or left-wing students I met in university, I didn't trust them. As a working class student from a socialist background, they seemed to me to be not trustworthy. They were not trustworthy, as it happened, because when things became difficult in the 1970s, they disappeared. They ran off. And that was the crucial point for me, because that was where Thatcher appeared. Basically, she turned the police force into a private army, and they attacked the miners, which was a way of attacking my family. So I realized that I needed to shift into a different gear at that point, and I made contact with Juan Carlos at work. Juan Carlos, because of situation in Spain, the civil war, marginal to bourgeois culture in Europe, he looked at it from the outside. He could see feudalism. He could see the transition to capitalism. He could see something called modernity, something called post-modernity. He could see it all. He just went straight through to the crux, capitalist exploitation. And I immediately saw that, well, this is history. This is real history. This is history and it's a radical historicity, not the ontogenesis of man in the Freudian work.